Alright, welcome back to Plants vs. Zombies, where this time around I will be doing the entirety of the pool level, a level which actually gave me a lot more trouble than I would have expected. And by a lot of trouble, I mean, there was a time where I'm pretty sure I failed the level, so I just restarted instantly before the whole, failure came up. But that doesn't really matter. You'll see it in the gameplay, with keen eyes if you really look for it, but it's not, completely obvious. Also, before anything else, I guess, I would like to say sorry if my voice is a bit spotty at times. It's going to be quite often probably during this video. I can feel it right now. I am a bit sick, or coming off a sick. I'm honestly not even sure. It was a couple days ago. I started having this cough, and just not great. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great, you know. And I don't like the whole raspy voice. Some people like it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Also, when I do this, I have to clear my throat every other 45 seconds, and then I start speaking again, and then my throat is not cleared. It's really annoying, but that's besides the point. So yeah, pool level, good fun. It unlocks the shop in the pool level. It unlocks, I think that's really it. Shop is a big one. Working towards Gatling pea and twin sunflowers. Although, while I was playing this game, I had an inkling of memory where twin sunflowers are actually not ideal to have, and how you just rather take normal ones because of how much more expensive the twin sunflowers can get. I'm not entirely sure on that. Someone confirm that with me if you're some sort of Plants vs. Zombies expert, which I don't expect anyone to be honest. But if you somehow are, and you know the twin sunflower versus sunflower argument, let me know. Anyways, yeah, as usual, this is just gameplay sped up or not sped up, depending on how much gameplay I have to work with. Usually it's all the same amount of time, about an hour and a half to an hour 20, because of how long the 10 levels take throughout the entire thing. So yeah, I have about an hour 20 to work with footage wise, and then I speed it up, compress it down to smaller times. I can do 16 to 20 minutes. I really don't know how long it's going to end up, but usually it just depends on how long I decide to talk for. But the point of me saying all of this is that I'm just talking with the gameplay in the back. Once again, it's Subway Surfers on TikTok. And I think I've mentioned this in other videos and other games. I'm gonna do this more because I actually quite enjoy it. I like just talking. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of I don't really know what the proper word would be. Maybe acoustic. I kind of do it on my own sometimes, and I think wow, I could have just recorded that, because if I just take out some key details here and there, because sometimes it's a lot more personal when I just start yapping about things. But sometimes it's just I'm thinking about one topic and then I just go on tangent. I could be talking about something like Miku Expo, like I was last video, and then I could somehow tangent on to Destiny 2, and then really just anything that interests me. But I guess the first thing I properly want to talk about today is probably going to be the new show that I have just witnessed. It was made by the same director, writer, one of the two, as Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan. It's called Pluribus, something like that. Either way, it's pretty interesting so far. 2 episodes out on Apple TV. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I am intrigued, to say the least. I wouldn't get on my hands and knees and go oh my god, masterpiece, Mr. Vince Gilligan, you have done it again. I'm not a huge Vince Gilligan glazer. I've seen Better Call Saul, I've seen Breaking Bad. Both good shows. I enjoyed both of them. Although when it comes to Better Call Saul, back in the day, if I was ever kind of sleepy but I just couldn't fall asleep, I'd put on whatever episode of Better Call Saul I was currently on. I'd play it, I'd watch the first 5 minutes, and then I'd rest it against my chest, my phone against my chest, or something off on the side, just with enough volume to hear, and I would just fall asleep to the dialogue of Better Call Saul. Not to say that the show is boring, but unlike Breaking Bad, there wasn't much room for actual action and suspense and all these things. It was a lot more methodical and dialogue heavy, and it was an interesting show regardless. But I was already tired, and it was just a good method. I would get lost in the dialogue, lost in the plot, lost in the story. I'd drift off to sleep. It was great. I loved it. But I guess the point of this, to come back to the original point, is Pluribus. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna spoil anything if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, because it is good. I don't really know how to describe it without spoiling anything, but Kojima said it was similar to something else, something about body snatchers. I'm not a big media guy who watches movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I watch the recommended things, and then I enjoy them. Or even the recommended things, sometimes I'll just not watch, and I'll go yeah, I know that show. That show's great, even though I've never watched it. I just assume it's great because everyone says it's great. But yeah, this one is one I am watching, and so far it's pretty good. It's got Kim Wexler in it from Breaking Bad. No, Better Call Saul. I don't know the actress's name, but I just know her as Kim Wexler because Better Call Saul. But yeah, it's interesting. Body snatchers. It's a hive mind thing. I don't really know how to describe it. And that's why I think it is like so intriguing. You know, it's hard to explain. It gets you thinking like, what is this? How can you explain this? And like, where will it go from here? Because first 2 episodes, I feel like they've explored a lot of the things that could be explored, but like, how can they take this even further? How is he going to keep this going and still make it engaging for the viewer? I'm really curious to see how he does that with the next episode. But like, even that episode, I think there's still some like ways to go with the whole topic, the whole theme, the whole plot. But after that, it's like, okay, now what? This is like where the, you know, the big boys are made, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good so far. But again, like the extent of my knowledge with media, like movies and TV shows, is very, very small. Like, I actually watched Whiplash for the first time like about a month ago. Great movie, by the way. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I could see like why everyone was like really, you know, high praising it. It's a good movie. It makes you think as well. It makes you like question things. It's almost open-ended in the ending, even though there is like a technical correct ending or like correct answer to the ending. But like, you could have your own interpretation of the ending, I guess, if you really wanted to. But like, once you see how the director sees it, it's kind of like, okay, you're right. But yeah, if you haven't seen Whiplash, please watch Whiplash. I mean, you don't have to watch it, to be honest. It's not like a life-changing thing. It's not like, you know, I wasn't sat there after Whiplash like, oh my God, my life has changed. It was just like, wow, it was a really solid movie. It was really good. Bit thought-provoking, not really thought-provoking, but like a bit like, you know, it made you think about the movie more. Like it wasn't complicated. It just like, the movie was, it was good. Okay, I don't really know what else to say. I'm not some like film buff guy who knows how to describe reviews. Anyways, speaking of film buff media and TV shows and stuff like that, one thing I am probably much more versed in, or well versed in, is anime. I've watched a lot of anime shows specifically. For some reason, even in anime, movies are just not my thing, man. I just can't sit down. Maybe I have like I don't think I have ADHD. I'm just trying to make something up for my laziness. I just can't sit down and watch a movie most of the time. Even though I know it's good. Like Your Name, every single person I've met that's watched Your Name, and I've had to like reveal to them I've never seen Your Name, they like lose their minds. They're like, how have you never seen Your Name? How have you never seen this? How have you never seen that? And I'm just like, dude, I don't know. You know, like, I know it's good. I know it's actually really good, and I'd be completely happy, satisfied watching it, but I just can't get myself to sit down for it. Like, the funny thing is, like, there was a point in time where I could sit down and watch like some random 12-episode anime, whether it was like a rom-com or like a horror or whatever it was, a shonen. I could sit there and watch a full 12-episode anime within a day. Like, I'd watch all 4 hours of the 12 episodes in a singular day. There was one time, I think it was during quarantine, so, you know, spare me on this one. I watched 3 12-episode animes in 3 days. Like, it was one a day. Boom, 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 boom. And I remember one of them was like, I think it was like Armed Girls Machiavellism. I don't even know how to say it. That one was okay. It was interesting. And then I think another one was Nyankoi. Yeah, Nyankoi. That one was cool too. Nyankoi was kind of a trip. I don't remember the other one, to be honest. But like, even I don't watch anime as much as I used to. You know, quarantine was a great time to just sink time into media, and I chose anime. You know, maybe I could have chosen TV shows. I did watch Breaking Bad during quarantine, which was also very good. There was quite a few shows I did watch during quarantine, but anime was like the easiest one. When ReZero's second season started airing, I watched the first episode, and I was like, wow, because I think the first episode was the Who is Rem episode. Like, that was the whale or whatever, the illusion whale, something like that. I don't remember. It was years ago. To be honest, ReZero is one of those animes where I don't even want to finish the anime. I don't even think I watched the second episode of the second season. If I'm gonna consume ReZero, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read the light novels. But like, light novels are kind of hard to keep reading. I like light novels. Listen, like, I have read a few, you know, I think I've read up until like volume 13. No, that sounds a little high, but I've read a few volumes of Slime, Tensura. And that one was good, but like, at some point it gets repetitive. It's like, he's just gonna win. Sword Art Online, which is a strange one, I read up until the Moon arc, whatever that arc is called. The one after Alicization. I finished Alicization, and then they started the next arc, which was like exploring what happened to them during the like 300 years of Alicization. And I was just like, I don't want to read that. And then I started reading the next arc, but like, it was like half translated, because at the time, the light novel, this was like 5, maybe 6 years ago. The light novel was like not fully translated, obviously wasn't official either. So it was kind of hard to find it, and I just kind of gave up. and I haven't read any of the light novels since, but it was interesting. And I think the anime is actually like fully caught up at this point, so I think they're actually covering that arc now. But as I was saying, like anime in general, I wouldn't say like I'm passionate about it, but like I've watched plenty of animes. I've got like a list of hundreds that I've watched at this point, and you know, I've got my favorites. I've got some that maybe I shouldn't have watched, some that like, even though I wasted maybe 10 hours of watching and I hated the ending, I hated everything about it, I don't regret watching them. See, here's one that listen, sometimes in quarantine you really just gotta watch whatever you can get your hands on, and that happened to be an anime by the name of Oreimo, aka My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute. Listen, that sounds really bad. It was really bad, actually. That entire anime sucks. Please do not watch it. I mean, it's kind of like if you watch it even ironically, it was bad. Because originally I watched the first season because I knew what it was. It was like, haha, Oreimo. But like, I was watching it and I was kind of interested first episode. And then like towards the end of the season, I was just kind of like, you know, like the little sister part was just kind of like a gag in the first season. It was weird. And Kuroneko was clearly the better parent. It was like, okay, well, this is clearly going to end. Kuroneko just, you know, ends up with the MC and he moves on from his little sister, which sounds horrible. I don't think they're blood related, thankfully. Not that that changes much. But then the second season came around and it threw everything in the trash. And I remember that moment when he like broke up with Kuroneko. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for you, but this anime is so bad. Like, listen, I mean, the anime is like 12 years old at this point anyways. You wouldn't even want to watch this, let's be real. But when he broke up with Kuroneko and then he like the confession scene where he's like running through the winter, it's like Christmas time, and he confesses to his fucking sister, was one of the worst scenes I think I could have ever watched in my life. And it wasn't like, to be honest, the narrative wasn't even that bad. Like the setup, it was interesting, it was engaging, it was heart-wrenching, if you will. And that's the bad part. Like everything was kind of good about it. But the fact that it was his little sister made it just like not matter. None of the writing, none of the narrative, none of the world building, none of the visuals mattered because this is his little sister. Okay, so to jump in really quickly and add on, this guy was not unpopular. Like he had like several girls lining up for him and he still chose his sister. Super strange. And I remember like I legit had to just set down my phone because I was watching it on my phone. And I just had to like, walk. I had to take some paces for like 5 minutes. And then I came back and I was like, okay, I'm going to finish this anime. You know, sunk cost fallacy. I'm in too far. I'm just going to finish it and forget about this. Although I never did. Terrible anime. But how did I get here? How did I get to Oreimo? I've watched a lot of animes. Good, bad, weird, outrageous, cool. You know, there's some that I have missed, to be honest. Like, I don't think I've ever watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I've read most of the manga. I'm not like fully caught up. I think I stopped reading some point with the games, the Hunger Games, the survival games. After the Shibuya arc, personally, it's just not worth reading. Like, I don't know what Gege was thinking with whatever the hell he wrote for the ending. And then another one is Attack on Titan. I never finished anything past season 2, maybe 3. Whatever arc brings in like the other world, the other side. What was that place called again? It starts with an M or something. That season I did not watch. That's the first season I did not watch because I read the manga from there on. Because I didn't feel like waiting for the new season. In fact, season 2 took so long to wait for. I should have just read it from season 2. I remember like when season 1 was the only, I sound kind of old saying this, but I don't think it was that long ago. But when season 1 was the only season, and for a few years, everyone was just thinking like Attack on Titan season 2 is coming. It's coming. And like at the time, I don't think I had even watched like season 1. So I was just thinking like, what are they talking about? Like, is it good? Is it that good? It was pretty good. Like, I can't lie. But the ending, you can have your opinions about it. I just don't care enough about Attack on Titan to really like be super passionate about, oh, it sucks or oh, it's amazing. I think it was a bad ending, but like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I don't think it affects too much of how good the rest of it was, but it was a weak ending. Let's be real with ourselves. But I think the overarching point I'm trying to make is I don't think there is a point to this, and that's okay. If you watch, most people on this earth at this point watch anime, which is a topic for a whole nother day, because I have a lot to say about the rise of popularity in anime, especially with the quarantine, and seeing it all happen as someone who watched anime before, you know, all of that. And it was just weird to see. It wasn't weird. At first, it was like really nice. It was like, wow, everyone loves anime now. This is so cool. Like, you know, we're all talking about it. You know, we all share this interest now. But then at some point, it kind of became like a, you know, like sometimes I don't even know if people watch the animes they talk about. It's kind of like Persona fans. Like they'll talk all day about Persona and they'll have like never played the game. And it's like, dude, what are you even doing? But that's a whole different topic for another day. Cause I could talk about that for like half an hour. Like that's probably the most passionate I am about anime. And it's like the new wave, I guess. And like mostly don't have an issue with them, but yeah, I'm gonna just move on. But yeah, if you do watch anime, and you've watched quite a few, let me know some of your hot takes, I guess. Because I think my hot take is probably the whole Attack on Titan thing with how the ending is just kind of You know, I think the entirety of the anime is great. It's a good anime. But I would never put Attack on Titan in my top 5, to be honest. I think it sits in my top 10, but not my top 5. Like, there's plenty of better animes than Attack on Titan, and some of them I haven't even watched. So like I can't give my full opinion of a list, but like personal enjoyment, Attack on Titan is somewhere in the top 10. You know, I'm not one to objectively or quote unquote objectively rate them because every rating is subjective. But for me, personal enjoyment, Attack on Titan would sit like 8th or something. It was good, but like towards the end, I was just kind of like, wrap it up, man. Or like, what is the point of this? Or like, wow, another like time travel paradox type of thing. Just was not having it with the ending, to be honest. But yeah, I guess that would be like my hot take on anime, or, you know, the more popular ones. Cause like I've watched, I wouldn't say I'm like an obscure anime watcher. I watch like anything that's popular or like decently popular enough that I can hear like a suggestion word of mouth or like just a plain suggestion on the internet. If you're getting suggested an anime on the internet, chances are it's probably popular in some regard, whether it's like a, you know, a smaller following or not. It's, you know, it's got popularity if someone's recommending it to you. One anime that I like to recommend to people, although I think nowadays, or really anytime I recommend it, I should warn them. But like, I think the first time I recommended the anime, because I genuinely like really liked that anime, and I recommended it to one of my school friends, and they came back like the next day and they were like, dude, what the fuck did you just make me watch? And like, I felt really bad because I didn't feel, it was kind of funny because, you know, they were joking. They still liked it. They were like, it was cool, but like, dude, what the fuck was that? You know, it was the anime Another. And I think it's a good anime. It's not like the best thing in the world. I don't even think it makes my top 10. Maybe it does. Personal enjoyment, I think I've rewatched that one before. It's good. Like, I genuinely enjoyed that anime, but like it had its flaws. As most anime does. It's not like perfect media. But the point is, Another has quite a bit of like gore. It's not really gore. It's just like really bloody. And there's this one scene in like the 2nd episode, maybe the 3rd episode, or I don't remember what episode, you know, it's one of the episodes. But basically there's like this like really gruesome scene, and it is great. Like, it's like, you just don't expect it. Like, you don't expect that to happen. And so now if I ever recommend it, which I guess I am technically recommending it now, I guess like, be aware there's like quite a bit of blood, there's quite a bit of violence, and there are a few deaths, you know, like here and there. So like, just be aware, I guess. Like, but like if you've watched something like Attack on Titan, I would say it doesn't have much more like bloodshed than Attack on Titan, even like maybe less, but good anime. I think it's really engaging. It really has you like thinking most of the anime, unless you like somehow figure it out, 'cause it's a bit of a mystery type of thing. I don't know. The point is, like, if you haven't watched Another, I would recommend it. I think it's got an English dub as well, if that's your type of thing. You know, I know there's some people out there that don't watch sub, like they just don't like it. And personally, like if I'm ever rewatching, I will never rewatch in sub. I'll just put it on dub and play it in the background, because I'm not like fully rewatching any anime unless it's something like Toradora, which I rewatched like 4 times. That's a whole different story as well. I think I've managed to talk about anime for like 15 minutes, which is honestly not like a new record or anything. I can talk about it for much longer, but I don't think I have much gameplay left here. Once again, I'm not even watching the gameplay, but I'll fit it into this audio somehow. I think that's going to be the end of this video. I don't know. The gameplay might be winding down at this point. If it's not, and the gameplay ended like 5 minutes ago, and this is just a black screen or like a complete different game, sorry, you know, ran a little too long here. But hopefully you enjoyed this one. Anime, I like talking about it, but like I could talk a lot more about it, but I'll probably spare you that for the next Plants vs. Zombies one. Maybe a different video, because I do have like some like random gameplay here and there. Here I go yapping again. I'm like going off on a tangent. This is supposed to be the end of the video, but like I do have like footage of like different games and like gameplay here and there that I could use for these type of videos. So I don't know, let me know, like drop a suggestion, I guess. There's no guarantee, because if I have no clue what you're talking about, then I might not be able to speak on it like at all. Like you could like, if you suggested for me to talk about like Oh, hey, talk about the state of the NHL right now. I don't watch hockey. Like, I know enough about hockey. I watched some hockey highlights last night, actually, of this, like, LA Kings guy. Really good finisher. I don't remember his name. But then there was also, like, Doughty and, like, you know, I know, like, that's about my knowledge. I know the big players from the LA Kings. You know, Wayne Gretzky, or Chevek. I don't know. The guy who just broke Gretzky's record. Anyways, this was supposed to end about 2 minutes ago. That's an exaggeration, but you get the point. Thank you for watching the video. See you later.